Hello, this is Christy. Today I want to show you a cool trick in Riverside to help you fix crosstalk. Now that may be simple if you think about it because you can go and mute one person, but I want to show you another trick which will allow you to keep both speeches, although they overlap, in your edit at the end so you can hear both people but not at the same time anymore, even though they were speaking at the same time during the crosstalk. So let's have a look how it works. I have marked in this episode here with Chris Menard, I have marked two different locations where I have crosstalk just so to save some time. So we go to the first one here using crosstalk 1 with the marker. Let's listen to this one here. If you play this for 3 minutes of work, or how long
for 3 minutes. Yes, about 3 minutes. I think I showed.
Okay, so you see, Chris does actually say 3 minutes twice. So the first way to fix crosstalk is really to just expand your tracks. So what I mean by this is, normally when you're in Riverside editing, the tracks are collapsed. You see both of them down here, although I have two tracks. If you look in the tracks panel on the right-hand side, I've got two tracks in here because we recorded on Riverside. But in the bottom, you can see a single track. So you see the different colors for the different speakers, and that's easy to kind of see what's going on and who is talking when. But if you want to fix crosstalk, the first thing you need to do is to actually expand the tracks. And by the way, this is also possible in the new Riverside editor, which is just about to come out, and it will actually help you do this much better. But just in the meantime, we are looking at the timeline here, and I want to see both tracks separately. And this button here allows you to do that. It says expand tracks. Click on it, and there you go. It expands both tracks, and you can see my track and Chris's track separately. So I can clearly see that in this particular region here, I have overlapping speech. So the first way to fix this crosstalk is, okay, I don't care that Chris says 3 minutes or whatever he says twice. So I may be thinking, okay, I can actually fix this crosstalk by just muting Chris for that part. To avoid him from showing, like he's moving his mouth without saying anything, we will switch scenes to me for that part and then back to him. So watch this. I'm going to zoom in just down here. And let's play this again. For 3 minutes of work, or how long
for 3 minutes. Yes, about 3 minutes.
Okay, so I can lose this part here, making a selection like this. Just click and drag on it, making a selection for this portion, and you can mute that part. Now, you can mute it using this mute button here on the top of the timeline, or I can simply press M to mute, like this. So you can see it's kind of grayed out now. And I should not hear Chris anymore for that part. Let's play. For 3 minutes of work, or how long is that video? I don't know.
Yes, about 3 minutes.
There you go, crosstalk fixed. But the problem is, if I play this video in this region, you can actually see Chris moving his mouth, but nothing comes out. So I may choose for that part to switch camera just to me, okay? So up until this point, I'll move my playhead to around here, and I will insert a scene here. Okay, so I'm going to go to the scene button on the timeline here at the top, or you can press Shift S. I will insert a scene. You can see the little thumbnail showing up, which means I have inserted a scene right there. And before this part, let's say we are side by side now, but when I talk about this 3-minute thing I'm saying, I'm going to go right here and insert another scene by clicking this button here. And now this is the scene that I isolated. I have isolated that particular scene. And in that scene, I want to put me full screen so that we don't see Chris moving his mouth without saying anything. Watch this. Clicking on that scene, go to the layout at the top, and we will switch to a single solo speaker view like this. And there you go. And by the way, if it doesn't show me in it, if it maybe shows Chris, you can go to the top here by, you click on the video and you go to the top and you switch who is showing in that scene. So let's see now. I will play from before that scene just so you can see what's happening.
That page at the end of the document. So.
Yeah. For 3 minutes of work, or how long is that video? I don't know.
Yes, about 3 minutes.
So there you go. We've gone back to side-by-side view after I have fixed that crosstalk. I was asking whatever the question was, and then we switch back to side-by-side view. And you don't know that actually for that part, Chris was speaking over me. And because Riverside records separate tracks, then this allows me to basically, isolate them and mute just a portion of one track. So that's trick number one. Now let's have a look at how we can fix crosstalk where we actually don't have a repetition. We have both people saying things that I want to keep. So I want to see, can I actually make it so that we keep both, right? So imagine this overlap here, but we are saying these things one after the other instead of at the same time. Let's have a look at that now. I'm going to jump to the other point in my edit here, Crosstalk 2, and you can see here the tracks are still expanded. And if I play this, you can see that we are overlapping here for much longer. And I want to keep both parts because, watch this, whatever, monetize. But now that they've taken it away,
They took away my $100 a month. I'm telling you, I was.
So I'm saying you're furious in that part, but you don't really hear it because he starts talking over me. So how do we solve this that we want at the end for you, the viewer, to be able to hear both of these things without muting one of us? So here's how it works. This current editor in Riverside does not allow you to isolate a portion and slide it, right? Because that would be easy. We could go in and make 2 cuts and then slide the tracks away so that, Chris comes in later while I'm, staying on the screen, finishing what I'm saying, and then he comes in. So sliding the tracks is not possible. In the new editor, though, this is possible. So, exciting stuff. But anyway, how do I fix this? Well, check this out. I'm going to switch back to single track view. Click on this to collapse the tracks. And you can see the crosstalk is happening in this region. And now Riverside kind of shows me the colors, but really it's not showing me both the waveforms because they're different colors, but they're overlapping. So it just shows the one that's on top, I guess. But if you look in the transcript, you see when the text is indented like this, and you may be wondering, why is this text sometimes indented like this? Because I am talking here, I've taken away "you're furious," that's in my transcript, but then Chris comes in and overlaps my speech. So this is an indentation to tell you in the text that actually this speech that's coming here is overlapping, and this one hasn't finished speaking while this one is talking. So Riverside transcribes both tracks separately and gives you the transcript for both, but when there are situations of overlapping speech, they will indent the track that interrupts the other. So just a visual cue there to tell you. So that you can spot them quite easily. But how do I fix this? Because I want to now keep both speech. Watch this. We are collapsing the tracks. So they are one track here, and I will go to the point where, so if I'm just expanding just for a second, I'm going to go here to the point where Chris is beginning to speak, right? So I'll bring my playhead. This line is the playhead. Just bring it over here before he speaks. Leave a little buffer room there. Put it before he speaks. Collapse your tracks. The playhead hasn't moved. So you see, from the collapsed tracks, you can't see that it's actually, it shows you the speech going over here, but it's not there. It's where I put my playhead. So in this place, we will make a split. The split is actually this button here, split. You can press S to split. And we have split that segment. Now, watch what happens here. I will take this segment and I will expand it to reveal the same portion again. What I mean by this is, if I expand this again, you see I've split it right before Chris starts talking, and it's in the middle of my speech. So what I want to do is I want to take this part, because editing in Riverside is non-destructive. So you can always, if you make a cut and delete something, you can restore it. But also, if we made a cut right now, I can actually take this part of the conversation and expand it to reveal the same part of the conversation again. So essentially, I am repeating this part here, one after the other, and I will selectively mute the opposite one. Sounds more complicated than it is. Watch this. I will collapse the tracks because this is the only way that you can expand. And I will take from the left, and to show you again, I'll expand them again. What I need to do is reveal my speech again for this part here. You see, this part here, I'm going to mute. So that's why I need to reveal it again from before that cut, right? So watch this. I am collapsing the tracks and simply expanding. If you put your mouse over the end, you get like a little handle, And we are expanding. And it doesn't matter if I go all the way until Chris finishes talking, it's okay. And now watch what happened. I will expand the tracks again. And look at this. Chris's speech is actually twice. Okay. My speech is twice here. Watch this.
Taking it away.
They took away my $100 a month. I'm telling you, I was. They took away my $100 a month. I'm telling you, I was.
$100 a month. Okay. So we have now 2 repeating speeches, and we need to mute one, and then we need to mute the other on the opposite side of this cut. Yeah, quite easily. So let's make Chris muted first. I'm going to go ahead here and select mute on this part here. Just select Chris. He's on the green track. Select it like this. Either you can press M or you can click the mute button here like this. And I will mute me on the second part where I say this thing. So here we go. Select myself here and my speech and mute that. So look at this, what we did. We have me talking all the way to the end in the first part, and there's a gap here. We'll take care of it. And Chris is talking, beginning to talk here while I have been muted for that part, and he continues to say what he says. So if I collapse now, collapse the tracks, you notice that I have this gap here, this portion where I am actually listening to him talking, but he's muted for that. So I'm going to just go ahead and collapse that or delete it. You can even, let's see, what am I saying here? Okay, I'm just laughing. All right, so I'm just going to make a selection here, and I'll simply take, delete that. Delete backspace or delete like this. There you go. So watch this. Now we are seeing no overlapping speech, and everybody says everything they're saying without being cut off or muted. Watch this.
But now that they're taking it away, you're furious.
They took away my $100 a month. I'm telling you, I was.
There you go. So funny story. Anyway, this is how we fix it. So the other things that we need to fix now is the part where he is talking. Again, the mouth is moving while I'm talking, but he's muted. So that's weird. Watch this.
Taking it away. You're furious.
You see how Chris is nodding, but he's muted. I can't see him there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, again, for this part, switch to me. All right. So from here, I'm going to create a new scene. Just before I kind of finish talking here, I will click this button, add scene. And in the scene right there, I will switch the layout to single speaker. And it's going to be me on the screen. And then after the scene cut, we are back to side by side. Now you can go again, switch to him. If I'm continuing to speak, my mouth is going to move now on this other half of the cut. And my mouth is moving, but I'm not saying anything because I muted myself. Watch this.
They took away my...
So you see me, I'm moving my mouth, I'm not saying anything. So like the same way that I switched to me here, I'm going to switch to him on this other side because he's the one talking. And I don't need to be staying on him for too long because we can go back to side-by-side view. So again, put your playhead here where he's kind of finished talking with that sentence. Again, insert a scene. And this time, going back in that scene, I will go to layout, switch to solo speaker. And it switches to me again because I guess I'm the first track in the list. I'm not sure why. But anyway, click on the video. And at the top here on this drop-down, click on Chris or whoever the other person is. If you need to double-click to go into crop mode and zoom in a little bit just to make it framed better, that's fine, up to you. And watch this. Let's play the whole thing. And this is the last time I'm playing it, I promise, with the $100. Here we go.
Whatever, monetized. But now that they're taking it away, you're furious.
They took away my $100 a month. I'm telling you, I was furious for it.
There you go. And now we go back to side-by-side view. So the trick is we are not able to slide the tracks away, but we will make a copy of this overlapping portion. And in one of them, mute one person. In the other one, mute the other and play with the scenes so that we see each person selectively so that we don't see them moving their mouth. So essentially, we are basically repeating the same footage twice. I hope this was helpful. This is a cool trick here. And just so you know, in the new editor, this is going to be actually easier. You're still going to be able to do this trick, but it's going to be easier to slide the tracks away because you can just isolate them and move them, and you'll be able to still do the scenes. And the new editor is so much faster. So starting from next week, I will be featuring more tutorials and showing you the new features in the new Riverside editor, which is just about ready to roll out to everybody. So I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.